Hey! In case somebody didn't tell you, Raider Reaction is for mature audiences only. So if you can't stand the heat, stay away from the fire.
It's another beautiful day to be a Raider, draped in the silver and black. I represent the shield, I represent the swords. It's that time of night again, Raider Nation, and you come back. Why? Because it's time. It's time to bring them.
What's up, Raider Nation? I am the Commish, coming to you live, as always, from Hardcore Challenge Live Studios. And where is that, might you ask? Well, let me give you some simple directions. It's just down the street, past the house with the boarded up windows. Make sure you stop on the corner and ask my man Joe. He's a gentleman and a scholar, as well as a man of commerce. Slip what you should. Man's going to point you in the right direction. He's going to tell you to take a left and then a right. As you find yourself strolling down the street just minding your own damn business, you're going to walk right past this deep, dark, creepy alley to your immediate right. As you stroll past it, This cool breeze will hit you that'll chill you right to your skeletal core, and you'll find yourself asking, is that the autumn wind? You goddamn right! Should you venture down that deep dark alley? Well, of course you should, because what you're gonna find at the end is your destination and a special little place that we like to call deep behind the enemy line. This is Raider Reaction, and as it is every Tuesday on Raider Reaction, it is a solid 60 minutes of everything silver and black, as it's the Raider Nation Report with yours truly. So, let's get right into it, shall we? As there is a lot to talk about in the football world, the NFL world, the world of the off-season, which is a season all in itself. There's ups, downs, laughter, tears. Hopefully more laughter than tears, but for some teams, more tears than laughter. The off-season, it's a roller coaster full of a lot of hope because there's no games played. All of the plays and the games are thought through in somebody's head, somebody's psyche, and in a vision that they're hoping to see everything put together. So, it's an exciting time. I love the off-season. It's one of my favorite times of the NFL season. Of course, we all love, the 16 games, the 17 weeks. We all love that, but I love this part of it. This part of it's exciting to me to see how the team's built, to see how all the pieces come together, to now step back. We've seen the story that was written last year. Is it our story this year? Will it be written in silver and black? Let's start with the big news. It's not necessarily big Raider news, but we're tied into it as we are any big type of free agent of this magnitude that comes around. Antonio Brown comes out on Twitter, posts a video, tweets that he is saying goodbye to Steeler, whatever the fuck you call it, because it sure the hell ain't no nation, but I don't know, whatever they call it over there and wherever that is. He says goodbye to him. So that means now it's done. They've come out. It's public, man. You done changed your relationship status and shit on your Facebook. It's official. He's done. He's walking away. He's done. He's forcing the hands of the Steelers, saying, fuck it, I ain't playing. Done. I want out. Alright? Instantly. Top 4 names you see out there. What? Cardinals, Jaguars, I think the Lions, and the Raiders. Top the list is the Raiders. We got the most money. We freed a bunch up. Now let me put it out there. So, as soon as I heard this morning, I went and put a poll on the Raider Reaction page, which is at about 300 solid, almost 100% Raider votes. Raider Nation votes. So that's a pretty damn good little cross-section of how Raider Nation feels. We've got 300 votes. I put it up this morning. Should the Raiders pursue Antonio Brown? Yes or no? Surprisingly, it's 52%. At last check, positive for Antonio Brown. So let me build the case for first. Antonio Brown has played now as a Steeler 2010 through 2018. 2018, he had 15 touchdowns. His biggest output, period. 1,297 receiving yards. 104 receptions. He has had 6 straight 100-plus reception seasons. The guy caught 15 touchdowns last season. 15 touchdowns. Now, I have the same argument that I had for Le'Veon Bell. I'm with you guys. I don't want that me guy. You're not with the mojo that we're trying to build and what we're trying to do as a team and build this future and this dynasty. I don't think you add that guy. I think he's oil to the mixture. I don't think you add that guy. But let me throw this caveat out there. Because when I was starting to make the argument for no, as I was doing some research today, I started to look at his numbers. And Antonio Brown had a phenomenal season last year for a guy who didn't get along with his quarterback, was disgruntled majority of the season, was not happy with the way they were using him, and he still went out there and caught more touchdowns than he'd caught in his career. 15. 1,297 yards for a guy who wasn't even on the same page with his fucking quarterback. There is something to say for a guy who just wants to fucking prove everybody wrong. And a guy who's talented enough to prove everybody wrong. For a guy to say, you know what? Fuck you, Pittsburgh. I'm done with you. I'm sick of the way you treat me. I'm sick of Ray Plisberger. I'm sick of Mike Tomlin's ass. And fuck you. I'm out of here. And I'm going to go somewhere. And I am going to prove that I am the top wide receiver in the National Football League. And this guy balls the fuck out in 2019. Because he wants to prove every motherfucker wrong that doubted him. There's that possibility. When you want to say he's a diva, he's this, he's that. Yes, I agree. But you know what? Jukebox. Pinned post at the top of the page. The last 3 the hard way. It's all about that. So go check it out. 3 minutes about what I think about the new league. Oh, everybody check it out. 3 the hard way. Last edition. A little 3-minute short. He did only have 35 yards against our secondary. But then again, you got to remember, that was at the end of the season when things were really, really starting to go south between him and the relationship he was having with Roethlisberger, the relationship he was having with his offensive coordinator and the head coach. It was all going south. That was right in a very tumultuous time for what was going on with Antonio Brown in his season. So, yes, he did get shut down, but it's not like they went to him a lot that game either. But I'm just throwing it out there. Because if you want to say no, I got to give you the other side of the coin for a possible yes. Because it's not like this guy's a scrub. We're not talking about a scrub here. He's 30. You can, that's it. That's right there where you can make the argument for, yeah, he's too old. Or you can make the argument for, yeah, he's got some tread on the tires. Hey, I think Conley's the man, Billy. I've been thinking that for a while. I said it all off season last year. That I thought by week 4 he'd be our number 1 corner. And every once in a while I'm right. I'm a big Conley fan. And I think Conley did have a lot to do with that. I got to agree with that. But throwing it out there, I'm not on the Antonio Brown bandwagon. I look at him along the lines of how I looked at Randy Moss. I didn't want to bring him in, and look how that turned out. Randy Moss was the only signing in my recent memory that I remember that I was actually pissed off when I found out we got the guy. I was so fucking mad when we signed Randy Moss. What a shit ass fucker. Just an absolute waste of money. I don't think Antonio Brown's along that lines. I don't think he's along that lines. But it's going to be interesting. We're going to be tied to that all the way until he puts ink to somebody's name. Now, the other big story, obviously, and the question that everybody's asking, where are we playing? in 2019? Where are we playing? Well, today, and you know, the story was basically driven by 247 Sports, which I'm pretty well on the record for how I feel about them, as well as 12 Up, and you know, pretty much any of those number pages, they're mostly clickbait garbage by half-assed journalists who just write up little fluff pieces and throw a flashy headline to get you to click on it. That's it. That's really it. So you got this story popping up saying that the Raiders, there's a possibility that they play in a split between Tucson and Birmingham, Alabama, because there's AAF teams that are using those facilities, that the season will be done by that time, and then the Raiders can slide in and share that facility. Logistically wise, it would work out for them flying to London and some of the games on the East Coast, working out of Alabama. The Raiders aren't going to play in fucking Alabama. I mean, really. That's a cute story, and I'm sure that got like several hundreds of people to click on that motherfucker today, but, like, come on. The Raiders aren't playing in Alabama. Like, really? Now, to Arizona, I can see you can make that argument, but I honestly think the story about that's picking up speed about the negotiations happening in Oakland, I really thought that all along there was a good possibility that was going to happen. I believed all along that Oakland was possibly going to sue them, even through the whole time, and that doesn't really matter. The reality of the matter, it comes back to, there's a dirty divorce going on, and nobody else really wants to step in the fucking middle of that. Nobody else wants to step into the middle of that. At all. Yeah, Tucson. Yes. That's what I said, Tucson. There's some AAF teams playing its facilities, and they'll be vacated, and yeah. Don't even waste the time to go search for the story, because it's bullshit. It really is. But I always thought that there was a big chance, because, like I said, this is a dirty divorce. Nobody wants to get in the middle of that. Nobody wants to be the, you know, yes, it can bring a lot of money into your city for that one season. It'd be good financially and for your local economics, but the logistical nightmare that you have dragging 7 NFL home games into a metropolis that's not prepared for it, that's on short notice, that you don't have the traffic structure set up for it, that there's only so many places that are set up to take on the kind of a beast that an NFL game is. It's just the reality of the matter. So, well, you know, everybody says, then why they can come play here? Hey, my high school stadium. Fuck, they don't use it on Sunday. Everybody's got every fucking cockamamie ass idea to where the fuck we can play. But the reality of the matter is, there's media requirements, there's security requirements, there's seating requirements. The NFL packages its product in a certain manner, and it televises it in a certain manner. And if you can't meet all of those check marks and mark all them boxes, you ain't getting fucking an NFL game. So, the reality is, you got two options. The 49ers are saying, yeah, we'll share our stadium with you. Pay up. We'll gladly share it with you. Oh, 20, 25 mil for the year? Sure. Or you can go back to Oakland. No. They still got rats in the soda machine. You know, you're still pissing in a trough, but it's familiar. You can play on dirt for one more year. You can have all of the hometown fans. You can roll it out as the proper farewell tour. which I think is what all of us really wanted. When it came out that we're going to Vegas, and I think we all knew it was a damn good possibility. Even when we went to that vote before it came down, I think we all knew it was a really good possibility. But I think everybody in Raider Nation expected that we were going to get the farewell tour. I think everybody expected that the 2019 season you would embrace everything Oakland. You would you'd have special games, special appearances. You'd bring back old teams. You'd do all of that nostalgia stuff and get it all out there. There's money to be made off of that for the city. There's money to be made off that for the team. It just seems like an easy marketable thing, and that it seemed like the right way to do it. Then you can really build up that big last game in Oakland. You can really go out with a bang. You could bring in some big name entertainment. You could make it a fucking event. The last ride in Oakland. It's right off to the new palace in the desert. Then I think you could really do something. I think that's what we all wanted. So I always thought, what up, Bozilla? Long time no see, brother. And what up, everybody? Thank you all, as always, for joining me. Each and every one of you. I appreciate each and every one of you. Russ, Lines, T-Courts, all Jukebox, every damn one of you. Thank you all for joining me, as always, my band of pirates. Without you, Raider Reaction would be nothing. So thank you for joining me, as always. You guys are the shit. So, I always thought it was a really great possibility that we'd play in Oakland. It's the ideal send-off. It just seems right. I ain't gonna forget about you, my man. What? And Hector, who lays down the nasty riff at the beginning of the show. So I think it's a good possibility, but it's really two options, and I think that's it. It's cut and fucking dry. It's cut and dry. There's two options. They're gonna play across the bay in San Fran and pay out the ass to play there, or they're gonna bite the bullet. They're basically gonna fund their own lawsuit by paying them to stay in the Coliseum one more year, so they'll in turn use that money towards the lawsuit to sue them, and ain't that a dirty cycle? But it's all about that money. But I really think it's starting to take tread. And yeah, I think so. So, right now, those are your latest rumors. Get a split time between Birmingham and Tucson, which was some shit story by 247 Sports, so I would hold no credo in that. That's a garbage story. But the story about the negotiations in Oakland has really picked up. A lot of publications have picked it up, and it is what it is. Well, we'll have to see. It's going to continue, but you would have to think that behind the scenes, that has to be the number one priority. How could it not be? How can it not be? How could that not be the number one priority? I would hope so. So, we'll have to wait and see on that front. We'll have to wait and see. But lots of talks. Lots of talks. So, we'll see. Now, if you have not joined the official Raider Reaction group, the Raider Reaction Empire, then I would like to welcome you to the dark side. Please click on the group tab on the Raider Reaction page, and you will find the Raider Reaction Empire. Please let yourself in, and we'll gladly bring you over to the dark side. We've been waiting for you anyway. It's not one of those regular Raider groups where you're going to join. We're going to ask you 3 questions before you join. Who's your favorite team? How long have you been down? Who's your favorite Raider? Like, who the fuck can't answer those questions anyway? What is that filtering out? Like, only the most retarded of football fan who doesn't know a name of a Raider player? I guess. And then before you go, the last thing is, hey, but make sure you read these 100 rules and stamp on the bottom in your fingerprint and blood that you'll abide by them. That there'll be no swearing. Do not post lewd pictures. Don't be posting any Raider goods in there. Don't be posting Raider shows. Ain't that what the fuck a goddamn group is for? Hey, I want to see people's Raider goods. It's a fucking Raider group. Put all that shit in there. I'd like to go there and shop through Raider shit all day. Drop Raider graphics. Hey, you want to drop some scantily clad Raider chick with a booty hanging out? Shit, I'm gonna look. I'll probably give it a like. We're not gonna tap you on the shoulder and say, "Excuse me, sir. I can see her cleavage. That's not acceptable here." No, we're going to tap you on the shoulder and say, "Keep that shit coming." There's no rules, really, in the Raider Reaction Empire. It's the dark side. Come on over. It's your team. Talk about them how you want to talk about them. In a forum that's growing and popping. We started this group after the first of the year, like a week or so after the first of the year. It's almost at 1,300 members already. It's growing 100 plus a week. And shit, I added I don't know how many goddamn people today that have added coming from the page. It's crazy. So if you haven't joined, get in there. It's a forum that we wanted to offer that's much like Raider Reaction itself. It's rated MA. There's no rules, no holds barred. You bring the goddamn fire in the Raider Reaction Empire. Come to the dark side. Alright, enough of that. Back into some Raider news. Somebody brought it up, and I'll touch on it now. Our old defensive back coach is gone. Charles Woodson announces he's out of ESPN. And everybody thinks the stars aligned. And Seawood's coming back. He's going to be the defensive back coach of the Raiders, right? There's an opening. He doesn't have a job. I would like it as much as the next guy. We don't know how great of a coach he's going to be because a great player does not always make a good coach. But I like the idea of having Charles Woodson, one of the greatest of all times, back there. A Raider great. I love the idea. I don't know if it's a reality, though. Woodson's on the record as saying it was nothing more than a freaking coincidence. It's a complete coincidence. We're all in the off season, so people are changing jobs right now in the National Football League. That's just the way it is. So, I mean, and he's right. It's probably nothing. But of course, this is how the rumor mills work. Wait, there's a job. He needs a job. I honestly don't think there's much to that story. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. I think Charles Woodson's going to step back. He's got a lot going on. He's got his Charles 24 wine. He's got a lot going on, and he's got a couple young boys. I think Seawood's probably good, doing whatever he's going to do, and I don't think he wants to get into that rat race. I honestly don't, and I don't think that's going to happen. It's a nice idea, but I don't think it's going to happen. I just think it's strictly, I agree with Lines, strictly a coincidence. Just happens to be the off season, man. This is when the NFL job market shifts. Everybody's buying and selling right now. Hiring and firing. Moving and shaking. People are going. It's just... It's the nature of the beast right now, man. That's what's going down. That's what's going down. Now, you heard another story that popped up today is how the Lions have come out, said how they don't want to be on HBO's Hard Knocks, and how they think that the Raiders would be a great candidate to be on Hard Knocks this season. There's a list of criteria that you have to meet to be able to qualify to be on Hard Knocks, and we do fall into that very small window of criteria, teams that make that. I would think if you were going to do it, wouldn't you do it in the first season in Vegas? You wouldn't do it in this somewhat transient season. I don't think you would do it in this year. The next year you've got the kickoff of the season. Like Russ said, you got the draft. See, it's funny how within a few years, listen, 5 years time period, if you would have asked the NFL 5 years ago if they'd ever have a team in Vegas, fuck no, man. They were so anti-gambling, they didn't want to be within that 20 miles of gambling. Oh, hell no. Keep me away. They wanted no part of it. That was so forbidden. No, good. Oh, no. Can't, NFL and Vegas could never co-mix. No. But now we're like, we're putting a team there. We're building a stadium there. Fuck it, we're going to have our draft there. I'm telling you, in a year or two, the fucking Pro Bowl's there. Mark my words, the Pro Bowl is going to be in Vegas too. That's going to be the next site. It's perfect. It's that time of the year. The weather's perfect. You've got a new state-of-the-art facility there that you can use. Pro Bowl site. You've got all the accommodations. It's an entertainment capital, just like Orlando, where it was just at for several years. I'm telling you, it's going to be there too. They are fully embraced Las Vegas. The taboo is gone. So there's no more worry about that. So I don't... listen, it's good TV, and I'm sure you'd enjoy watching them on there, but to me, I do not. I have no fucking interest in seeing the Raiders on Hard Knocks. It's too much of a glimpse into the psyche and how the team interacts. I don't feel that your opponents need to see some of that stuff. I don't want to see the team that I follow on there. I think it's a bad look, and I just don't. Let them go look at the dysfunction in Detroit. You know, I mean, that's been, you know, they're on the fucking kiddie table and shit. Like, seriously. Go check that out. I don't want to be on Hard Knocks. I know a lot of people are excited about the idea. I'm not. I'm not the least bit excited about the idea of, No, thank you. Pass. I think more bad than good comes from that. 100% feel that way. It's 100% feel that way. I don't like it. And like I said, this isn't the season. If there was a season to try and put spotlight on the Raiders, I don't think this is the season. I really don't. You've just got too much going on right now. There's just too much going on. You've got the last ride possibly in Oakland. Just too much. Too much. I just don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case. So, moving on. I wanted to touch on that because it was a story that did pop up today. Now, another one of the biggest stories that has popped up. It's been floating around there for a couple of weeks, but it is now official. Kyler Murray, the 2018 Heisman Trophy winner, has said it is NFL, not MLB. That Major League Baseball just doesn't get the juices flowing like playing football. And I can see that. baseball seems like the safe choice, but the reality of the matter is, and the really fact of it is, if you're looking at Kyler Murray, who was a kid who didn't have a lot of success in college until this last year, and he blew the fuck up this last year and won the Heisman. Now, after a year like that, you win the Heisman Trophy. You're everything is being handed to you like rolling out the red carpet. You are an it guy. Now you're telling me you're gonna go take a step back, go into the Oakland A's system, maybe drop down and have to spend some time in a farm team, AA ball, minor league, travel around on a bus, flying on shitty, minor league planes. Before in a year or two, they bring you up and they feel you're groomed to be a big league player. Because that's what's going to happen if he went to the major leagues. He wasn't going to come out of the gate and they're just going to stick him out there. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. They would groom his talent and bring him up. Or you come out and you're a first-round draft pick in the NFL. And a first-round draft pick in the NFL, the caliber of draft pick that he's going to be looking at, that's an immediate start. Somebody hands you the fucking rock right off the bat when you're going to get the kind of credo he's got coming out. Somebody's going to hand him the ball. So he knows, well, I got a year or two of working my way in. Yeah, it's going to be the safe career. Yeah, I've got the capability of making really big money. But out of the gate, he's not going to make the money that he's going to make like he's going to make in the NFL. And you ain't going to get the action like you can get in the NFL. Period. You ain't going to get the heart beating. You ain't going to get the adrenaline. You just aren't going to get it in Major League Baseball versus the NFL. And that's why Kyler Murray is coming in the league. So now, we're sitting at 4. Is John Gruden and Derek Carr, did they fuse their relationship in 2018? I believe they did. But I also am a firm believer in the fact that John Gruden wants to succeed with John Gruden's plan, John Gruden's picked players, John Gruden's picked schemes, and John Gruden's picked coaches. Pretty much John Gruden wants to pick everything and succeed with everything that he put in place. So you always have to keep that in the back of your mind. That John Gruden, 150%, thinks he's the smartest motherfucker in the room. So you always have to keep that in mind. So you're looking there. He's at 4. I can get my quarterback. I can get my wide receiver. I can get my stud new defenseman that I need. All in the first round. Is it possible? Possible. My heart of hearts feels that Derek Carr completely passed his audition in the second half of the season for John Gruden, and I believe he wins his shot. I believe he wins his shot for the start of the 2019 season. I believe he's the guy. I truly believe that. But I do believe 100% that we're looking at nobody on our bench but A.J. McCarron, and if you don't think that John Gruden is going to draft a quarterback in this draft somewhere, I think you're crazy. Because I think he 100% drafts a quarterback somewhere in this draft. A project that he can stick behind Derek Carr and see if he can groom him up in his system and be one of his guys. I believe he grabs somebody. I wouldn't even be surprised to see him go as early as the 2nd with the quarterback. Because he's going to grab one. And probably sooner instead of later. Unless he's just not happy with what he sees with the quarterbacks in this draft, which a lot of people are saying it's not a deep quarterback draft, so which I have to agree. So there's going to be lots of scenarios. You've already seen 1,001 mock drafts. I'm sick of fucking mock drafts already. You know, everybody's got an opinion and everyone's different. And, you know, like, somebody's going to be right. Somebody's going to claim that they're a genius. I told you! Oh, come on. You had like 10 different mock drafts in the last 6 weeks. You told me on the one. Mock draft. Everybody's fucking got one. Hell, we'll have one even like right before the draft. You know, I'm not going to do it fucking 3 months ahead of time. That's just retarded. But I guess when you've got to fill content, then that's what you do. But that's lame. Lame. I'm not ready to get into all of that nonsense yet. So, yes, I think it's probably set off a little something in the back of the brain of John Gruden when he seen that Kyler Murray was going to be available at 4. But I really do believe that Derek Carr is the man for 2019. And he earned that. I really think he earned it. I do believe. Now, released today by the fake Pirates, the Buccaneers, the Succaneers, Vinny Curry was released. 6 years with the Eagles, Super Bowl champion coming out of the 2017 season. Was banged up, injury-plagued season for the Bucs. And they released him. He signed him to a 3-year deal. They released him after the first. That puts him out there. Is that somebody you could possibly be interested in adding to our defensive front? There's a possibility you could get him a little bit on the cheap. He's coming off a subpar year. He's coming off an injury-plagued year. But he's still a young and talented guy. Are you interested in Vinny Curry? Because I think he's a guy that maybe we shouldn't shy away from. Maybe he's the guy that you need to take a look at. There's a lot of guys that are going to start getting released. It's that time of year. It's when the heads start to fall, heads start to roll. People start to lose jobs. People have to change zip codes. Have to go home and tell their wife, I'm sorry, honey. I have to move to Wisconsin. I know, it's fucking cold. God, how shitty would that be? Like playing for the Dolphins or something. You gotta go home and tell your wife you're moving to fucking Detroit. Be like, damn! Fuck! Detroit? This is not as bad as Flint. I mean, at least the water's not quite as bad anyway. But, man, it's fucking cold up that way. I can't even imagine. Good Lord. Makes me shiver just thinking about the cold. Fucking winter. It's like a 4-letter word around here. Hell of that shit. Winter. Now, Vinny Curry's the first one that's popped up here recently. Yet DeMarcus Lawrence from the Cowboys, who's another guy who I've kicked around as maybe somebody we should go after, although I think he's probably way out of our price range. And the kind of money we want to spend there. I think we can get a couple guys for the type of money you would spend on him who can fill more holes in really what we need as an overall. But, he's just the first. He's the first of guys that are thrown out there in the market. He's cast away. A guy who's, he was banged up last year and had a subpar season. So, He's got something now to prove. He's got something now to prove. I was excited and interested about the possibility of maybe bringing Larry Fitzgerald in, although he ended up signing back with the Cardinals damn near right after I talked about it on the show. I think the very next morning he went out. He went and signed. So that thought didn't stick around for very long. But that's kind of how it is. So there's been a lot of interesting moves. The Raiders have been brought up in a lot of players, and it's pretty much going to be all off season. With what happened last year, with the personnel moves of John Gruden, and you just know that every player that comes around, the Raiders are going to be mentioned, Gruden's going to be mentioned. Because why? It drives stories, it's interesting, and fact of the matter is, nobody has any fucking idea what John Gruden is going to do and what his master plan is, except for John Gruden himself. Mike Mayock doesn't know. Nobody fucking knows. Gruden's going to do what Gruden wants to do, and all you got to do is watch. So every time a name's thrown out there, we're going to be attached to it. That's just the way it is. And there's a reason for that. Because it drives clicks, and the fact of the matter is, the guy's a loose cannon when it comes to the kind of moves he'll make. You don't know what he's going to do. You don't know what he's going to do. He's got his own master plan in his head, and he doesn't give a shit to share it with any of us. And he's going to work it as he sees fit. And his plan is to sit back when it's all done and say, see that? I told you I was a fucking genius. And that's what the man's plan is. So we got to let him work it, and we'll see what happens. Looking ahead, our 2019 schedule. Looking at the home games we got on the slate, obviously we don't know where those are going down, although I still believe in my heart of hearts it's going to be Oakland, and we're going to have our farewell ride there. We're losing one of our home games again, which is bullshit. Why the fuck can't we lose an away game? Why can't the away game be overseas? Why has it always got to be a home game? So we got to play the Bears in London, as Mac's going to be chasing around Carr on foreign soil. Isn't that fucking lovely? Of course, we got all of our division rivals. You got the Titans at home, the Lions at home, the Bengals at home, and the Jaguars at home. To me, those 4 games right there are winnable. All 4 of them. We can beat the Donkeys. KC and the Chokers are going to be tough. They're going to be tough this year. The Bears are going to be tough too. So there's 4. Hell, I'd say 5 out of our 8 home games that are very winnable. Now you look at the away games. Of course, you got the division rivals. Again, Denver, it's a very winnable game. KC and the Chokers are going to be tough this season. They are. You know, I hate him as much as the fucking next guy, but I'm a realist. You got the Jets, winnable. You got the Colts. Colts had a nice little bounce back last year, but they're no juggernaut. Got the Texans and the Packers and the Vikings. I could see the possibility. 9 to 10 wins. I can make an argument. I will make no predictions, though, until I see the actual schedule and how it aligns. Because I'm a firm believer in how the schedule lays out. That you can pick trap games out. You can see how a season can work its way through. But I got to see where you got to travel, what games are after what, back-to-back home games, you know, back-to-back road games. Hell, are you playing on the road in fucking Green Bay and then playing on the road in London the next week? I mean, are you playing in Green Bay in September? Or are you playing in Green Bay in the last week of the fucking season? There's a big difference. A huge difference. So a lot goes into predicting what a record will be, and I won't do it until we get an actual schedule, which isn't that terribly far off. Isn't that terribly far off? It's coming around soon. I mean, hell, the draft is going to be here before we know it. We're already working our way through February. Drafts towards the end of April. I mean, it's not much more than a couple months off. And we're talking about OTAs, rookie camps, training camps. Oh, shit! It's Hall of Fame weekend all of a sudden. And then here we go again. Here we go again. Now I know everybody's asking me about this fucking other league. I've got some short segments that I've been putting out called 3 the Hard Way. If you haven't checked them out, you should. Go click on our video tab on RAIDER ReACTION, and there's 4 or 5 episodes now of 3 the Hard Way. They're little 3-minute segments. I give a little piece of my mind on one topic and roll with it. And they're always pinned to the top of the page. Right now, the latest episode is pinned to the top of the page. So please go check it out. Latest episode of 3 the Hard Way with yours truly. And I touch on what my thoughts were on the AAF League that kicked off this past weekend. So, those of you that have asked, Jukebox and some of the others, please go check it out. It's pinned to the top of the page. It's a little 3-minute episode, little 3-minute silver and black nugget for you to enjoy. They're sprinkled about the page now and about our timeline. Be watching for them. I'm doing one. Prime is doing one as well called the Prime Cut. And James Rader's also doing one called the James Rader Rant. Raider Spleeve is doing one called Raider Spleeve's Pet Peeves. So you'll be seeing them sprinkled about. Little pre-recorded silver and black nuggets. Little 3 to 5 minute segments from members of the RAIDER ReACTION hype team, as well as myself. Mine's called 3 the Hard Way. It's pinned to the top of the page. Please go check it out. Spitting a little fire in that motherfucker, I'll tell you that. Now, I always like to wrap things up with a special little segment that I like to call the WTF. And tonight, it's WTF. I want to take it back just a little bit to last week and what is now spilled into this week. And we've all had to deal with it. We've had to listen to it. We're over it. Yeah, you won. Again. You got another one. Yeah, you're this, you're that. I've been a diehard Cheaters fan. Yeah, sure you are. Sure. There's a large percentage of these pop-up Cheaters fans that we all have to listen to. And we're all just sick of it. It's amazing. When I was growing up, I never, ever seen fucking Patriots paraphernalia anywhere. I never seen Patriot fans walking around. I never seen jerseys, coats, hats. You never fucking see it. Did you see Cowboy shit, Packers shit, Raiders stuff? Did you all? Yes. Did you ever see Patriots? No. No. Because it's a fan base built out of the last decade and a half. They didn't have a fan base before that. It didn't exist. So what I've been doing for the past week or so, because I'm just fucking sick of listening to them, you know, all these diehard fans. So I've been pulling this one on them. Oh, you're a big Patriots fan, huh? Really? What's Tony Easton's number? And I get typically one of two responses. One, a blank stare because they don't have any idea who Tony Eason is. Two, they know who Tony Eason is, know that they should know his number, but they also know that they're not really fan enough to know his number. Now, there's been a couple of them that have actually been able to answer. But I can only think of like two in the past several weeks that I have pulled that on. Oh, so you're a Patriots fan, huh? Oh yeah, man. I've been a Patriots fan my whole life. Really? What's Tony Eason's number? And they can't fucking answer. You can't tell me what the number of the only other quarterback in your franchise's history that went to a Super Bowl? You can't tell me his number? Really? I can tell you what Kenny Stabler's number is. I can tell you what Tom Flores' numbers was. Jim Plunkett's, Rich Gannon's, Jeff Hostetler's, Jay Schrader, Jeff fucking George, Billy Joe Hobart, Donald Hollis. I can tell you the number of every fucking quarterback damn near that's played in the silver and black ever. And if you don't even know the number of the only other quarterback to really get your team to a Super Bowl, that's... What the fuck? Frontrunner fans. Thank you, T-Courts. Frontrunner fans. Yes, another number 11. Frontrunner fans. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Should have chose a real team. Should have chose a real team. If you caught it tonight, earlier, James Raider got handed his ass by Cesar as the Xbox One League is kicked off in our 2019 off-season Madden Challenge. Our PS4 League is also kicked off. We'll be having games streamed live from it this week as well. We're going to have a doubleheader Saturday night as I am playing my game against Mark Smith. As I'm the Raiders, he's the Rams. Commish Jr. got stuck with the Eagles. He's playing Anthony, who's the Falcons, on a Saturday night doubleheader as we will be closing out week 1 of the off-season, 2019 off-season Raider Reaction Madden Challenge. Sunday morning at 9 a.m., we will reboot for week 2. And then on Madden Monday, we'll get you all updated on all of the action that's went down. I will be streaming every one of my games live on the page. Saturday night, 2 games going down in our PlayStation 4 League as myself and the Commish Jr. hang it out there for all to enjoy. Be ready, Mark. It's going down. And I don't play to lose, goddammit. I've been tweaking my team. Me and Commish Jr. we was making fucking moves. Oh yeah, I got a new corner. I made some trades. I'm getting ready. I will see you right back here tomorrow. Same Raider time, same Raider channel. Thanks for joining me, each and every one of you. Our band of pirates. I'm out. Peace, love, Raider Nation!